Hey, yo, welcome back to the channel. I've had my Tacoma for 1 year now. So you know what we're going to do for you? We're going to give it a 1-year review. And in this review, I'm going to give you the good, I'm going to give you the bad, and I'm going to give you the best mods, at least in my opinion. Let's check out the good, bad, and the best top 3 1-year review. Let's get into it. Let's go. So like I said, I've had my Tacoma for just over a year, put over 14,000 miles. I do work from home, but I use it as my daily driver, running errands, running kids around, heading up to the mountains, going on trips, use the Tacoma for everything. So I'm going to give you my 3 good right out of the gate. Number 1, as far as why I think it's good, it's because I still love driving this Tacoma. You know, I've got a 2021 TRD off-road, and after a year of ownership, I still love it. You know, sometimes people get sick of their vehicles really quickly. Maybe it's not everything they thought it would be or thought it could be. For me, that has not been the case. I love driving this truck. That's one of the things that I think is good. That's one of the things that I think is great, is if you're going to buy a vehicle, you want to enjoy driving it, especially if you're going to invest in a Tacoma. You know, it's going to be a little bit more pricey than just going out there and getting any old car. So I love driving this thing, and I think that's one of the things that after a year I think is great. Number 2 on my good list for 1-year ownership is that the Tacoma is a more than capable mid-sized truck. For me, I'm not hauling a boat, I'm not hauling a trailer, I don't need a full-size truck, but I think that the Tacoma is more than capable as a mid-size truck. It can tow enough, it can haul enough, it can fit enough people in it for what I'm using it for. I think it is more than capable. It is just an awesome all-around mid-sized truck. It's easy to drive. It fits in and out if you're going into parking spots, pulling into parking lots. For me, it fits in my garage. I can close it no problem. I can do everything that I need to do in it, and I don't need anything bigger than that. So if you're thinking about getting a mid-sized truck, looking at the different options out there, it is more than capable. Number 3 is the Tacoma. For me, after a year, I can say this vehicle is the ultimate in versatility. You can leave it stock and you're great. You can build it up into a big overlanding rig and you're going to be great. Whatever you're using it for, whatever you need it for, whatever you want to do with it, to modify it, to make it your own, the Tacoma is great when it comes to versatility. There are so many aftermarket products, modifications that you can do on the Tacoma that you really can make it yours. And you know, I've done some mods. In fact, maybe I need to do a mod review, just go around and quickly show you all the mods I've done. Now, I haven't built it into an overlanding vehicle. I haven't done, you know, anything too crazy. I'm actually still running with stock wheels and tires on it as well, but I have done quite a few mods. I've been able to customize it, been able to make it my own, both in how it looks, couple little things with like a 2-inch leveling kit that I've done on it. So, you know, I've been able to do all those things because honestly, it's one of the things I've really enjoyed about owning a Tacoma, is just it really is the ultimate versatility when it comes to trucks, when it comes to vehicles out there on the market today. So while there are lots of good things about the Tacoma, it's not all rainbows and unicorns. So let's talk about the bad. The first one has to be that transmission. It is a little laggy. You know, in the beginning, it didn't actually bother me. Hadn't really owned a truck before, so I just kind of figured it was part of owning a truck. But as I've had it for a while, that lagginess of the transmission really has started to bug me a little bit. I'm looking into maybe a pedal commander or sprint booster, see if that helps it out just a little bit. But it's definitely something you should be aware of. So my next bad in my 1-year review is actually something that's kind of surprised me, and that's paint durability. You know, I've had quite a few vehicles over the years, and it seems like this one gets chipped up and little dings far more. A year ago when I got it, I thought I should do some kind of a protection and expel something and I didn't do it, and I'm starting to notice these little chips here and there all across the paint. The paint quality and durability has really been kind of disappointing. I have done some light off-roading, some trails, so maybe that's account to some of it, but honestly, it's not what I do most of the time. Most of the time, I'm just driving around town, and our other vehicle is an all-wheel drive vehicle, and it's honestly something that we've also taken off-road, and I haven't seen those chips on it. It's got a little bit more of a gray, kind of like the cement gray that you see on the Tacomas, a little bit more of a gray color. So I don't know if it's just that it's got a better paint quality or not. It's not a Toyota vehicle, but the paint durability has been something I've been a little bit disappointed with. I struggled a little bit to come up with number 3 on my list of bads, because honestly, I've been super impressed with the Tacoma. But as I look at it, while the Tacoma is the number 1 midsize selling truck in America, it may not be the best in class in each of its areas. And let me tell you what I mean by that. There are mid-sized trucks out there that get better fuel economy. So if that's what you're looking for, there may be better options. There's others that have maybe a little bit bigger hauling capacity in the bed, in how much weight you can put into them. There's others that have a little bit better towing capacity. They can tow a little bit more. And so if any of those things are important to you, there might be something out there that is better in that specific area in its class. However, I don't believe that there's anything out there overall when you compile all of those things that is best in class. So overall, I still believe the Tacoma is best in class. So if you have something out there that is very specific to why you're looking to get a midsize, there may be something out there that's a little bit better in that specific area itself. That's the good and the bad. Before I jump into the best mods, go ahead, hit like, hit subscribe. Also, put a comment below. Do you disagree with any of these, good or bad? Would you have something that you would put on your list if you owned a Tacoma? Let everybody know in the comments down below. So I've done quite a few mods to my Tacoma, nothing really crazy, but quite a few. And when I looked at my top 3, I wanted to kind of come up with 3 that really improved my ownership experience of the Tacoma. So a lot of these are going to be a little bit more utilitarian in why I rank them on my top 3. But really quickly, my best 3 mods are, and probably in order as well, of how valuable they are to me. And let's start out with number 1. When it comes to my best mods, number 1 has to be the bed mat. It's not something that anybody really recognizes or sees or notices, but to me it makes all the difference in the world. I'm always throwing stuff in the back of the bed, and having it slide all over was something that just after the first few days of owning the Tacoma was driving me absolutely crazy. I went out, I immediately got a bed mat. It makes all the difference in the world. I've done a review of the bed mat, showed you the difference in when you're putting some coolers in the back, how it holds them in place versus sliding around. But a bed mat is definitely one of my number 1 recommendations to get. And I did have a subscriber comment on another video that somebody had swiped his out of like a Home Depot parking lot right out of the back of his truck. That's crazy to me. They're super heavy, very heavy duty. They really provide some protection to the bed. It is a composite bed, but gives it some protection. So my heart goes out to that guy. That sucks. That really does suck. But for me, it's been one of the number 1 things that I think is a must-have mod right when you get a new Tacoma. So sticking with the bed of the truck, my number 2 mod has to be my tonneau cover. I like having a tonneau cover that keeps it covered. I can take stuff in the back. It's covered up from prying eyes. It's protected if I'm hauling down the freeway. I've been to the lake. I've been on weekend trips where we're throwing, paddle boards, inflatable paddle boards in the back, inflatable kayaks, coolers, tents, sleeping bags, anything I want to throw on that truck bed. Again, I've got the bed mat to keep it from slipping, but the tonneau cover keeps it covered up, keeps it protected. If I got to make a quick stop at the store, I know that it's covered so nobody can see that I've got stuff in the back. Personally, I like the roll-up tonneau cover. That way, if I do need to use the bed, I can roll it up and I get the full use out of my entire truck bed, as opposed to the tri-fold, which most of them, even once you fold it up, you still don't have the full back of your bed available to you. So that's just been my preference. Number 3 on my best mods is such a little simple one, and that is the center console organizer. And the reason I put this on is a couple things. Number 1, super inexpensive, super cheap, easy to get. Number 2, it's the one thing that I probably use every time I get in my truck, meaning I'm always reaching for, hand sanitizer or my sunglasses that I keep in there, chapstick, whatever that might be. Keep a little knife in there that I can use to open up Amazon packages. Pretty much every time I jump in my truck, I'm looking to grab something, and it's usually in that center console, and that center console organizer makes all the difference in the world. That'll do it for my 1-year review. That's the good, that's the bad, and that's the best mods in my experience having owned this Tacoma for a year. Thanks everybody for your support. Go ahead, hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video. All right, peace out.